my first Mother's Day in the White House when the phone rang, and it was the White House operator telling me Senator Thurmond was on the phone to wish me a happy Mother's Day, which I thought was wonderful. Then, about 2 years later, I think it was, on a Saturday morning, really early, about 7 o'clock in the morning, the phone rang, and it was the White House operator, and the White House operator asked for the president. I'd picked up the phone and said that Senator Thurmond was calling. And so Bill says, Senator, how are you? 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. So I hear Bill say, well, of course, Senator, just right away, right away. So he hangs up the phone. I said, well, what was that, Bill? And he said, well, Senator Thurmond wants to come up and show some people the Lincoln bedroom. So then, of course, when I was elected to the Senate, Senator Thurmond could not have been more gracious. Now, you probably don't know about this, but I was sworn in, along with all the other senators, and as I was walking back to where I was assigned to sit, as other senators were coming up to be sworn in, Senator Thurmond reached out his hand across his desk to shake my hand, and as I shook his hand, he just pulled me in and gave me the biggest bear hug you ever saw. And it took a little while to get extricated. And so then every time I'd go by his desk, I would position myself so that when he reached out to shake my hand, the desk was between me and the senator. But he was always very kind and very gracious. And whenever I had the duty of sitting in the desk, if you watch the Senate on C-SPAN, you see different senators presiding over the Senate, and it's a job that is given to the junior senators. When we first got to the Senate, we were divided 50-50, and so we alternated with our Republican colleagues. But I was there in the chair about once a day. If Senator Thurmond was in his desk, he'd blow me kisses. And then from time to time, he would call over a page, and a page would go up, and I'd see him root around in his desk, and he'd pull out some hard candy, and he'd drop it in the page's hand, and he'd point up at me. So the page would come up and say, Senator Thurmond wants you to have this, Senator Clinton. So I would thank him. I write in my book, Living History, about a wonderful conversation that Senator Thurmond had with my daughter. After you are inaugurated as president, the Congress holds a luncheon. So after the '97 inaugural, Bill and Chelsea and I went in to a luncheon, and whoever is the Speaker of the House assigns the seating. And at that time, Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House. So Speaker Gingrich put Chelsea between Tom DeLay and Senator Thurmond. So after it was over, you know, I was watching her during lunch, and she was talking to Senator Thurmond. Didn't have a lot to say to Congressman DeLay, but she had a delightful conversation with Senator Thurmond. She told me that at the beginning of the lunch, Senator Thurmond said, "You're nearly as pretty as your mama." By the middle of the lunch, he was saying, "You're as pretty as your mama." By the end of the lunch, he was saying, "You're a lot prettier than your mama." And at the very end, he told her that if he were 70 years younger, he'd court her. So it was a delight to serve with Senator Thurmond and to have those 2 years with him. And he is, you know, just a legend, as you know so well. And I have a lot of memories.